My boys! Wow! The math here, it's adding up to get the fuck out. Wow! Wow! Rest in peace to those that died in Helsreach. Yeah. Wow! Should I do my usual YouTube intro? No. We're watching the Helsreach movie by Richard Boylan. Film thing. Uploaded on, I forget the channel name that I'm using, that has, it's the 1080p version that was re-uploaded by someone. So, uploaded and edited by someone. And so, yeah, link to this video that I'm specifically reacting to will be in the description box, and whatnot. So grab some popcorn, grab some drinks. This is going to be a juicy one. And hopefully audio is not too bad. I'm going to keep an eye on it. And also, since this is live, YouTube, if you see me glancing over here, more so than I normally do when I record. Usually when I just record, I'm looking over to the left here to make sure that, like, everything's working. But now I'll also be looking over there because there might be chatters. So we're gonna try and pay attention to multiple things here at once. Yapping done. The yapping is done. Let's dive in. We might want to lower a bit. Let's go down to that. Ah, there we go. I think that's going to be better balance. I might want to lower it even more. I don't know yet.
I will die on this world.
Maybe we want to lower it. Raise it a little. Dude, I love this art style.
I cannot tell where this conviction comes from. Whatever birthed it is a mystery to me.
I know this voice. I know this voice. I've heard this voice before. I've heard this. Who the fuck is this voice actor? Where do I know them from? Because I've heard this voice before.
And yet the thought clings like a...
It's on the... I know this. Who? I know this voice. It's on the tip of my tongue. Like I can close my eyes and I can hear them talking to me in some other property, but I don't know who.
Virus blooming behind my eyes and taking deep root within my mind. It almost feels real enough to spread corruption to the rest.
I'm Googling who the fuck this actor is. Hold on. I guess I don't know his voice.
Rest of my body, like a true sickness. It will happen soon, within the coming nights of blood and fire. I will draw my last breath, and when my brothers return to the stars, my ashes will be scattered over the priceless earth of this accursed world. Armageddon. Even the name twists my blood until burning oil beats through my veins.
Oh, that trend. Oh. Ooh. We gotta go back and watch this transition again.
Even the name twists my blood until burning oil beats through.
I approve. That's fucking. That's sexy. That's a sexy transition right there.
My veins. I feel anger now, hot and heavy, flowing through my heart and filtering into my limbs like boiling poison. My hands curl into fists. I am strong, born only to slay for the Emperor and the Imperium. I am pure, wearing the blackest of the black, trained to serve as a spiritual guide as well as a war leader. I am wrath incarnate. Living only to kill until finally killed. I I am a weapon in the eternal crusade to forge humanity's mastership of the stars. Its strength.
Dude, this art style is so fucking cool. How do, what's so cool, what this really also shows, like, this shows two things, because we've watched a previous Richard Boylan Warhammer fan film. It was his Guardsman. This man is talented as fuck. Not only is he doing this shit with, you know, like, just drawing, but his other fan film was also then a single location live action. Man is a talented cinematographer, director, storyteller, whatever words you want to say, they apply to this man.
Purity and wrath will not be enough.
Now, of course, this time around, he isn't writing the story. This is from a book, I think. But, you know, still, the visualization is top tier.
I will die on this world. I will die on Armageddon.
We got our prologue out of the way. Written by Aaron Dembski Bowden. I will say, I don't know if I could. We'll see how I feel about the, like, on a technical level. I can appreciate this art style, right? But I think to watch this, my eyes right now, 3 minutes in, aren't entirely jiving with the kind of, like, I don't know, stuttery wiggliness of this style. So I'm may not be something. We'll see how I feel about it as we get further on. But my eyes may not be too happy. They might be kind of like tired, or just from the wiggliness. It's giving live action shaky cam vibes, and I fucking hate shaky cam. Now, I do not I'll say I do not hate this as much as I hate shaky cam. The moment I see shaky cam uh in movies or shows, I immediately hate it. I don't immediately hate this. It's just I think my eyes are just going to get exhausted from 2.5 hours of this kind of visualization. But man, does the pausing is going to get annoying. You're here to hear me yap, all right? If I'm here to yap, because this is the shit that I love when it comes to storytelling, the different mediums of storytelling. What this art style does, it immediately conveys the tone, especially with the music happening in the background. The tone is conveyed. It is giving you that stark visualization. It captures what I feel, what I kind of picture as 40K from the last few months of engaging with 40K for the first time. So, like, yeah, this style is very much capturing, like, it's accomplishing what I am assuming the goal of its narrative purpose is. Those words make sense together, I think. Also, anyone watching live, let me know how the audio sounds. If you think something should be, if either my volume should go up more, or if my volume, or if I should raise the Helsreach volume. I'm not entirely, I can't tell. Audio is fine on both. Thank you, Jimmy.
In the holiest chamber of our ancient flagship, I lower myself to one knee and bow my head, because this is what is asked of me. Grimaldus, High Marshal Helbrecht intoned. His voice was a guttural rumble, rendered harsh from yelling orders and battle cries in 100 wars on 100 worlds. We have summoned you to be judged. I have answered the summons. I submit myself before your judgment, my liege. Mordred is dead. Helbrecht's voice was a deep murmur. Slain by the archenemy. You, Grimaldus, have lost a master. We have all of us lost a brother. It was the belief of Reclusiarch Mordred that upon his death, you would be worthiest of our brother chaplains to stand in his stead. His final decree was that you, of all your brethren, would be the one to rise to the rank of Reclusiarch. The figure inclined his head in greeting.
Arterion, we draw near to our destination. I took the liberty of readying the squad for planetfall. This world will burn. It will not be the first, nor the last. Have you seen the projections? The fleet auguries, the number of vessels in the local systems already? I lost interest when the numbers became too high for me to count on my fingers.
I like this man. He's just like me.
Arterion snorted at his own weak jest.
We will fight and win, or fight and die. All that ever changes is the color of the sky we fight under, and the shade of the blood on our blades.
My brothers' names are Arterion, Priamus, Cador, Nerovar, and Bastelan.
So I think we can already, the vibe I'm getting is I'm probably not going to understand the full story here. Because again, this is coming from a book, and a sci-fi fantasy book, audiobook, and is going to be over at least 14 hours. And obviously we are only getting a 2.5 hour bit here, so I think I'm probably gonna be a little bit lost in the plot. Try and piece together what exactly is going on. The series is 13 episodes long and combined into one. I mean, that's not what I'm getting at. This comes from an audiobook. Would you say he is fuckable? No. The voice doesn't do.
These are the knights that have waged war beside me for decades.
I don't like the big bulky armor. That's really mainly it. I'm not a fan of the I'm not a fan of this armor style.
Are the knights of Squad Grimaldus. Within his veins remains, Cador carries the blessed blood of Rogel Dawn with what seems like weary honor. He is older than I, older by far. His decades within the Sword Brethren are behind him now. Priamus is the rising sun to Cador's dusk. He is aware of his skills in the unsubtle and undignified way of many young warriors. A blade master, he calls himself. Yet he is not mistaken. Arterion is... Arterion. My shadow, just as I am his. It is rare among our number for any knight to lay aside personal glory, yet Arterion is the one who carries my banner into battle. Nerevar is the newest among us. The squad required the presence of an apothecary. In the trials, only Nerevar impressed the rest of us with his quiet endurance. Bastilan is last. Bastilan, always the best and least of us all. A leader, but not a commander. An inspiring presence, but not a strategist. Forever a sergeant, never fated to rise as a castellan or marshal. My brothers go through the same rituals of checking and rechecking. A curious sense of unease descends upon me.
Sword Brethren, that there is talk of the High Marshal nominating you to lead a crusade.
It is my belief, not merely the wish of your fallen master, that you should take the honor we offer you now. You have waged war at my side for 200 years, Grimaldus. Will you stand at my side as Reclusiarch of the Eternal Crusade? Yes, my liege.
What was that for?
I dub thee Reclusiarch of the Eternal Crusade, as a knight of the Inner Circle. Let that...
Don't get what the fuck the point of smacking him was for. I'd be like, that doesn't accomplish really anything.
be the last blow you receive unanswered.
Okay, I guess fine.
Will be so, my liege. As it should be.
'80s Hive. So are we gonna be killing some Tyranids? This Hive? My the second wolf. Oh my goodness. My boys! Wag! Yeah, that hurt my throat. Alright, this is the best thing I've ever seen now. Only if the orcs will know. Oh. Bye-bye to his brains. We're twisting and spinning. Oh, he big. He chunky. Wow. $57 years. Whoa. Hold on. What the fuck?
Are you Kirov?
I am.
We are the Emperor's Knights. We are the warriors of the Eternal Crusade and the sons of Rogel Dawn. I am Helbrecht, High Marshal of the Black Templars. With me is Bayard, Emperor's Champion, and Grimaldus, Reclusiarch. We come to offer you our blades, our service, and the lives of over 900 warriors in the defense of your world. Kirov stood in silence. 900 astounded.
And this, okay, what's going to be really interesting here as we right, that's dialogue for a book. But for me personally, that kind of dialogue does not translate into the visual medium. It kind of comes across as, I think awkward would be the best description, best word to use in this situation when it comes to a visual medium. Because, like, personally, I feel like this man, just by looking at them, should know exactly that these are the sons of Rogel Dorn. At the very just based on the fucking fanaticism and shit that we've gotten. Maybe he doesn't know the names of the Emperor's children or whatever. But I feel like at least he would be, with the position that he holds within the Imperium, he should know, just watching them step off that ship, or also because I'm sure they did not just randomly arrive to his planet. He should know, like, to expect these people. And I mean, obviously he's expecting them. He's waiting for them with a contingent of troops behind him in a sort of ceremony. So yeah, that kind of dialogue is, it does not, that's the kind of dialogue you change or just cut out when you transition from book to the visual medium.
Entire star systems were conquered with a fraction of that.
I am glad to hear it. Welcome to Armageddon. Hades' Hive will not survive the first week.
The man speaking is ancient, and he looks every hour of his age. Both piety and hate echo in his every word. His name is Sebastian Yarrick. Even we Astartes must respect that name.
Yarrick. I feel like I've heard that name before in one of the lore videos. Have I? I'm doubting myself now.
What is coming in system now far exceeds
That's where I know him from, because he was mentioned in the in Lewiton's orc video.
what has laid waste to the planet before. The other hives must be reinforced 1,000 times over. Hades will burn. At our best estimations, Battle Fleet Armageddon, the orbital defenses, and the Astartes fleets remaining in the void will be able to deny the enemy landing for 9 days. These are our best estimates. And the worst? 4 days. Once the orbital war is lost, be it 4 days or 9, our fleets will break from the planet in a fighting withdrawal. From then on, Armageddon will be defenseless beyond what is already entrenched upon the surface. The orcs will be free to land whatever and wherever they wish.
But hold on, isn't it like when the orcs land, isn't it essentially impossible to get rid of them from that point on? And so you're kind of just left with the only option being exterminatus. It's like they're like a fungus. Once they're there, they're fucking there. So why are we still here?
Who will lead the Astartes vessels? Given his seniority and the expertise of his chapter, High Marshal Helsreach of the Black Templars will take overall command of the Astartes fleets. We are to remain in orbit.
We are the obvious choice to command the Astartes elements in the orbital battles.
I was wrong. I will not die in futility on this world. High Marshal, we can slaughter the Greenskin Tyrant before he even sets foot on the world below us.
I have already spoken with the other marshals, my brother. We must leave a contingent on the surface to defend one of the Hive cities that yet remains ungarrisoned by Astartes.
That is not our duty, my liege.
And yet, a commander must remain.
Don't do this.
It is already done.
No!
This is not the time. The decision is made, Grimaldus. I know you as I knew Mordred. You will not refuse this honor.
I would burst the great enemy's black heart in my hand and cast his blasphemous flagship to the surface of Armageddon, wreathed in holy fire. Do not leave me here, Helsreach. Do not deny me this glory.
You will not refuse this honor. Wait, brother.
Smash. I mean,
Blood of Dawn. Now that's a sight.
Their destination was called, with bleakness so typical of this world, Helsreach. We cannot be the only Astartes strength sent to this city. We will not be
oh my god, guys, he said the name of the place, of the book, of the movie.
alone. The Guard is with us, and militia forces. Humans? The Legio Invigilata has landed to the east of the city. Titans, my brother. I don't see you sneering at that. Reclusiac? How can we defend all this? With blade and bolter. With faith and fire.
Wait, I thought Skull Mask dude was the Reclusiarch, but the other dude speaking answered. A little... What? Huh? Okay. Why the fuck is that thing in his eye? Why the fuck? No. What the fuck? What am I of misery, man? That's... I will say I'm not the audio isn't giving me the weight of the Astartes footsteps in comparison to Richard Boylan's other 40K fan film, which was The Guardsman, and we felt the weight of each step. Yeah, I'm not feeling like right here, I'm not getting a real good feeling of the Astartes being superhuman, aside from the the just direct visualization of their height and their armor. Aside from that, I'm not getting like audio cues for them being just absolute monsters. You know? I feel like that's a bit of a bummer. I want them heavy footfalls. Now that was a good visualization of just the Astartes' lack of care, like where the servitors stand in society.
I am Grimaldus, Reclusiarch of the Helsreach Crusade. I am Colonel Sarin of the 101st Steel Legion and overall commander of the Imperial Guard forces defending the Hive. Muted clicks could be heard every few seconds from the helms of the knights standing closest to him. Sarin knew full well they were speaking with each other over a shared Vox channel. He didn't like it. Not at all. Who are these others? I would meet every commander of this hive, if they are present. They are present, sir. Reclusiarch. Not sir. As you wish, Reclusiarch. This is Syria Tyro, Adjutant Quintus to General Kurov. Commissar Falkov of my command staff. This is Major Mordecai Reichen, Second Officer of the 101st and XO of the City Defense. Commander Corton Barasouth of the Imperial 5082nd Naval Wing. A pleasure to serve with the Black Templars again. You have served with the Knights of Dawn before. I have personally, 9 years ago on Dathax, and the 5082s have on no fewer than 4 separate occasions. 16 of our fighters are marked with the Heraldic Cross, with permission given by Marshal Tarrason of the Dathax Crusade. I am honored, Barasouth. The Most Honorable Moderati Primus Valian Casimir of the Legio Invigilata, crewman of the Blessed Engine Storm Herald. Moderati, you speak with the voice of your legion?
A full battle group. I am the voice of Princeps Majoris Zaha Mancion, and the rest of Invigilata is committed to other engagements.
Fortune favors us that you still remain. We have much to discuss. Indeed we do. This way, if you please.
Any chance for captions? Oh, let's see. Let's see if they're any good. Because I don't think I can do live captions. I think that's something I have to set up that I don't know how.
A city. I am in command of a city.
Okay, it looks like there'll probably be pretty good captions. Here we go.
Preparations have been underway for months, but estimates pitch the great enemy arriving in system within a handful of days. The hours pass in a blur of statistical outlays, charts, hololithic projections, and graphs. The food supplies for the entire city. Ration projections, sustainable food ration planning, unsustainable food ration planning, with appended lists of estimated sacrificial casualties. Estimates of disease once the city is shelled and civilian casualties are too heavy to be dealt with efficiently. Types of disease, symptoms, severity, risk of contagion, compatibility with the Orc genus. Imperial Guard numbers. Throne, what numbers? Regiments, their officers, their live fire training accuracy records, their citations, their shames, their moments of greatest glory and ignominy in a host of distant worlds. The Guard figures alone take 2 days to file through. And this, they say, is merely the overview. Coastal defenses, walls and turrets and anti-air towers, and trade requirements and union complaints, and petitions arguing over docking rights and warehouses appropriated as barracks for soldiers and...
The trade unions are complaining about trade and stuff, while they're going to actively be under siege? Leave the fucking city then. I don't know, try and find a ship out? You're gonna complain about that? Like, you're in a hive, in a battle zone that's literally being called Helsreach, on a planet, or whatever, that in a hive that's called Hades Hive. I don't know, I feel like the things, the math here, it's adding up to get the fuck out. If run, go away. Don't be a bitch and complain. Like, a battle's coming for you. All right, shit's gonna go down. Okay.
Complaints from merchants and dock officers and I endure this for 9 days. 9 days. What is that? Throne of the God Emperor.
My boys. Wog. 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 Orc. 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 Where's that gonna get put? Is that going into his brain? Where's the
People
no?
of Hive Helsreach.
Okay, I thought this man. I thought this man was just gonna get randomly stabbed. I don't know. That's.
Do not be alarmed. The enemy fleet has translated in system. The might of Battle Fleet Armageddon and the greatest Astartes fleet in Imperial history stands between our world and the foe's forces. Maintain your daily rites of faith. Trust in the God Emperor of mankind. That is all.
That is all.
You. Hail the Black Templar flagship Eternal Crusader immediately.
My lord, I am coordinated.
Do it! Now!
Yes, my lord. A moment, please. The Eternal Crusader is making ready to engage the enemy fleet. I can send a message, but their two-way communications are in lockdown without the proper command codes. Do you have the codes, my lord?
I am being a fool. My fury is blinding me to my sworn duty. I have the codes, but this is not an emergency. Simply send the following message to their incoming logs with no need for a reply. Fight well, brothers.
Sent, lord.
My thanks. Forgive me a moment's cola. We have a war to plan.
Until their dying nights, the warriors of the Helsreach Crusade bore their lamentations and rage with all the dignity that could be expected of them. But it was no easy feat. No easy feat to be consigned to a city of several million frightened souls, while above the stained clouds, hundreds upon hundreds of their battle brothers were carving their glory from the steel and flesh of an ancient and hated foe. The Black Templars across the city looked skyward, as if their helms' red eye lenses could pierce the wretched clouds and see the holy war above.
Give the order to Imperial forces throughout Helsreach. Martial law is in immediate effect.
Well, that didn't take
Seal
long.
the city.
Ah! You know, I wonder how well birds would be able to live in these kind of hive cities. Like, what would they be eating? Surely there's definitely high enough buildings for their nests and stuff. What would they be eating? I mean, I guess certain birds eat the body, human and orc flesh. Could birds eat orc flesh? Is orc flesh edible? Would that then create an orc bird? I don't know. I'm just saying shit.
3 days.
In 3 days, they will decide if they are to come to our aid or deploy along the Hemlock River with the rest of their legion.
There's a chance they will not even walk in our defense.
So it seems.
I am going to the view tower. Is the Moderati Primus still within the hive?
Yes, Reclusiac.
Tell him to meet me there. Be polite, but do not ask. Tell him.
Caw.
This is the greatest of Armageddon's port cities. We are about to be assaulted by the largest green-skinned breed Xenos invasion ever endured by the Imperium of Man. We must have Titans, Casimir. I am aware of your need. My need. It is the Hive's need. Armageddon's need. As you say, the Hive's need, but I am not the Princeps Majoris. I report on the Hive's defenses to her, and the decision is hers to make. The Invigilata has received strong petitions from other cities and other forces. I must speak with her. If you wish, I could perhaps arrange a conversation over the Vox. But I am here, a man of not inconsiderable station myself, to show that Invigilata is earnest in its dealings with you. I appreciate that. I am not blind to your rank. Tell me, Moderati, is it permissible to speak with your Princeps Majoris in person? No, Reclusiac. That would be a violation of Invigilata tradition. Your objection is noted, and duly ignored. What?
Yeah.
Artarian, ready the Land Raider. We're going out into the wastelands.
Ooh, I love that. When the truck Land Raider landed, shook the camera. I liked it. Nice. Is this bird gonna be there through the whole fight? You gonna live? You gonna survive the greenskins? My brothers? Wog? Watch out, you don't want to get stepped on. You don't want to get squeezed. Nice hoods. Nerds.
I am Grimaldus.
I am Ryan.
Of the Black Temple.
Your identity is known to us.
The next time I am interrupted, I will kill one of you.
We are not to be threatened.
Neither are you to be addressed. You are nothing. Slaves, all of you. Barely above servitors. Now move aside. I have business with your mistress.
We are not to be ordered into submission. We are to remain as duty demands.
I will speak with the Princeps Majoris of Invigilata, even if I have to shout up to the cathedral itself. Reclusiarch, must we bear this foolish indignity? No. Kill them.
I wish to speak with the intruders.
Access granted.
That is what I thought you would say. Make this count, brother.
Brother.
Trust me.
Was there Princeps Majoris or whatever in a tube? Ugh. No smash. Nuh-uh.
Greetings, Astartes.
Princeps Majoris.
Yep, no smash.
An honor to stand in your presence.
Waste no time on pleasantries. Storm
You're
herald
out of
waits, and soon I must walk. Speak.
I am told by one of this Titan's pilots, as an ambassador to Helsreach, that Invigilata may not walk in our defense.
This is so. I command 1/3 of this legio. The rest already walks in defense of the Hemlock Legion. Many with your brothers, the Salamanders. Do you come to petition me for my portion of mighty Invigilata?
I do not beg, Princeps. I came to see you with my own eyes and ask you face to face to fight and die with us.
But you have not yet completed your intended duty, Astartes.
Is that so?
We are not face to face. You have very kind eyes.
All right.
What is your name?
Grimaldus of the Black Templars.
Now we are face to face, Grimaldus of the Black Templars. You have been bold enough to come here and honor me with your face. I am no fool. I know how rare it is for a chaplain to reveal his human features to one not of his brotherhood. Ask what you came to ask, and I will answer.
Princeps Zaha, Helsreach calls for you. Will you walk?
You gonna give his hand a little kiss? Move.
Invigilata will walk.
What's really cool about what you can tell that this was a much longer segment within the book. I'm curious how much of the book we have cut / skip through thus far. Because yeah, you can definitely you can just tell. You can just tell. That's fine. That's how you do adaptations. You gotta cut things. I love, again, he's doing a really good job of visual contrasting. Like the size differences on the purely visual perspective is amazing. No complaints. It is only in the the audio, like the sound of the Titan isn't feeling Titan-y enough for me. I don't know. It's like I don't want more I want more oomph to the Titan. Just like there's like no oomph to the walking of the Astartes. Now, of course, maybe my guess would be why he either didn't bother to do it, or maybe he did try and do it, and then as he was, maybe it was just, it could have been too much work to do that for every time the Astartes are on screen, because it's very much Astartes-centric thing, or it got too repetitive, maybe too annoying from a viewership perspective. Maybe when he was watching it back, probably he may have felt like it was just too annoying, perhaps, from having the oomph of the Astartes every time they are on screen. So I could see that being the thing. Fun fact: there are Titans available to buy for the tabletop. I knew that one. Obviously, they are huge, 60 centimeters in height. I do not. What's that in freedom units? Kidding. Even if you put it in freedom units, I'm not going to be able to visualize it. 2,000 euro? Jesus Christ. That's... God damn. No. No. I shouldn't get too distracted.
Welcome to Helsreach.
Hail, chaplain. I was born in a hive like this.
He wouldn't like
It
Warhammer.
is fitting then that you'll be dying here, Zaha.
Do you say so, Sir Knight? Have you seen me today?
It is impossible not to see you, Princeps.
It's impossible to kill me as well. Remember that, Grimaldus.
I have a feeling the Titan is gonna die. Titan is totally gonna die in the battle.
Helsreach was ready. And, as night fell, the sky caught fire.
Oh! Hello! Well, that killed a few people. For video gaming purpose. For gameplay.
The ship registers as the purest intent. An Astartes vessel, strike cruiser class, belonging to the Shadow Wolves. They fell at the Battle of Varadon 11 years ago. Their last companies were annihilated by the Tyrannid breed Xenos. The Black Templars were with them at
Oh, so wait a minute, that ship is infected with Tyranids? Wait, are the Tyranids and the orcs fighting together?
the end. What is the status of Battlefleet Armageddon? Holding, but we have a greater comprehension of enemy numbers now. The 4 to 9 day estimate has been abandoned as of 30 minutes ago. This is the greatest greenskin fleet ever to face the Imperium.
I misunderstand what was fucking said about that ship?
The ship registers as the purest intent. An Astartes vessel, strike cruiser class, belonging to the Shadow Wolves. They fell at the battle.
Okay, so they fell. That means they're dead. So who the fuck's piloting that ship then? Not those Astartes. And they fell in a battle against Tyranids. So is it being...
Of Varadon 11 years
Watch it,
ago.
you'll understand time.
Their last
Shut up.
companies were annihilated by the Tyrannid breed Xenos. The Black Templars were with them at the end. What is the status of Battlefleet Armageddon? Holding, but we have a greater comprehension of enemy numbers now. The 4 to 9 day estimate has been abandoned as of 30 minutes ago. This is the greatest greenskin fleet ever to face the Imperium. The fleet's casualties are approaching 1 million souls. 1 or 2 more days at best. The crash ship. I suggest we hold, Reclusiarch. A handful of greenskin survivors cannot hope to survive an assault against the walls. They would be insane, even for orcs to try. Send a Titan. I am not making a jest. Send a Titan to obliterate the wreckage. Inspire the men. Give them an overwhelming victory before the true battle is even joined. The Commissar is correct.
But you could also, like, take the guns from the big ship. And those would be useful. You know, like... Well, I guess you don't want to maybe risk lives. Yeah, I guess. The Commissar is...
Helsreach needs an overwhelming victory. It is time my knights took to the field.
Oh.
This is bad comedy.
Fall back, damn it!
Priamus sensed another lecture about vainglory in his future.
We will draw first blood, Grimaldus had said to them all, as if it was something to care about, as if it would affect the final battle in any way at all. Join me, brothers. Join me as I shake off this disgust and the stasis gripping my bones, and slake my bloodthirst in holy slaughter. These warriors who called him vainglorious were blind to the truth. He was not rash, he merely trusted in his skills to carry him through any challenge. Was that a weakness? How could it be considered so, when Priamus's deeds and glories were already rising to eclipse those of his brothers? Priamus, leave him be. Let him hunt. He needs to stand alone for now. He needs discipline. He needs our trust. I smell fresh blood. A survivor, still bleeding.
Wog.
No. What did you say? I said no. They always seem so immune to pain. But no. Look into its eyes, brother. Do you see? No, brother. If there is a lesson in this, I am blind to it. Let me end it. Its existence offends me. No. Its lifespan is measured in moments. Let it die in this pain.
That's kind of fucked up. My poor orc brother. Wog.
Nero, do you see something? Yes, something. So enlighten me.
A pipe.
It's Priamus. Isn't it always? I've lost his life signs. That cannot be.
Uh-oh.
Here, among this rabble, I do not make mistakes. Reclusiarch?
Speak.
I've lost Priamus's life signs, sir. Brothers, maintain search and destroy orders. What? We need to be silent. I will find Priamus.
That's not good. That's not good. Primus got in over his head. Oh, yep, he did. His armor, hold on, his armor doesn't look, looks like he's got some damage there, but nothing on the chest plate. I don't see blood. Oh, looks like he did get stabbed. Some.
Greetings.
Oh. Well.
Nero.
Reclusiarch.
I have found Priamus. Aft, deck 4. Tertiary spine corridor.
On my way. Assessment?
Some kind of force discharging weapon. His armor is powered down, but he's still breathing.
Okay.
3 minutes, Reclusiarch.
Those Horsens. They shot me. Some kind of nerve weapon. Get away from me. Speak. I would hear your thoughts. I am not blind to your tensions of late. Duty is not always glorious.
Kind of shouting like Sean Connery.
You have changed since inheriting Mordred's mantle. You are speaking foolishness. No, hear me. We have spoken, Cador, Nero, Bastilan, Priamus, and myself. We must all deal with these changes, and we must all face this duty. Your darkness is spreading to the entire crusade.
Okay, so this another faulty of needing to condense things for this adaptation to like work, or at least the way in which they chose to portray it is that there is an instance of them telling us, because we weren't shown what Grimaldus was like before his promotion. So that statement there just kind of rings hollow because we don't know Grimaldus' character from before him becoming the Reclusiarch. So
Reclusiarch.
Colonel Sarin,
Reclusiarch. Throne of the God Emperor. It's truly beginning.
elaborate.
and I feel like we haven't gotten also we haven't been shown enough of this team working together to get an idea as to how close of a group they are to one another. As an outsider looking in, since I am not aware of how close in general the Astartes are to one another. So like obviously for people that probably are avid fans of the franchise, that this is probably something that they can look over. But as an outsider, it's something that doesn't work for me.
Battle Fleet Armageddon is in full retreat.
Oh, that was
The Astartes
fast.
fleet is withdrawing alongside them.
They call each other brother. So fucking what? Just because someone calls someone brother doesn't mean shit. And also, if you say something so many times, it loses its meaning. Like, if I just hear people constantly calling one another brother, that term does not mean as much anymore. Because it's just used too much.
It's beginning.
Has there been any communication from the Eternal Crusader?
Yes. Shall I have the message relayed to you?
At once, Colonel.
Hulk Hogan is a great example. When Hulk Hogan says, brother, you don't fucking believe Hulk Hogan's genuinely calling someone a brother. This is fucking Hulk Hogan. You know when he says it, he's not saying it in, right, like, context here. We have not gotten an establishment of their relationship as outsiders looking in who genuinely get the feeling that they are a close-knit group. Because they have not shown that to us. They have told us. And again, this is where this is why fans, avid franchise fans, typically should not be the ones handling adaptations of the franchise. The exception to this rule is Peter Jackson, because Peter Jackson was smart enough to understand what works in adaptation. Peter Jackson understood the innate differences from book to film. And he also experienced himself because he watched the animated Lord of the Rings movie, and he could look to that and just be like, this is why this didn't work, right? Which is why I kind of get annoyed when people online get super pissy about, like, when they hear, like, oh, there's not a fan. One of the writers on the writing team for like an adaptation is not a fan of the work. That's fine. You need those people around to serve as the outsiders looking in. Because if they are lost, or something doesn't work for them, then that's a problem. Because visual medium is the more, at least in our day and age, the more widely available and supposed to be more easier to consume medium. That is the purpose of it. It is to be the more widely acceptable means of consumption. True, but exactly, right? No, like, which is why you need a mix of both. And this is also why, again, things like the Fallout TV show, Shogun. Shogun is a good example. I haven't watched episode 10 yet, so don't say any spoilers, please. And Lord of the Rings are great examples, is because no, Dave Filoni's not a good example. I can get into my issues. Dave Filoni is very I said this while my dad and I were watching. Hold on, no, that's a I want to say this point first before I go off on Star Wars. You still, which Lord of the Ring, like, these good adaptations are so rare because it is genuinely hard to find someone that is a fan of the franchise who is also willing and able to meaningfully acknowledge what things need to be cut, right? Like, the people, there are a lot of people even to this day that have a problem with Arwen being the one to take Frodo into Rivendell, and why it could not be uh fucking Fingolfin. What the fuck? I think it was Fingolfin. Uh, Whatever his name was, the one that had fought a Balrog in the Silmarillion or whatever. Um, the reason it could not be him is because then Arwen would have so very little screen time, we're not going to connect to her. They had to invent stuff still so that people can feel the relationship between Arwen and Aragorn. And even then, people still complain because, again, they're still limited to the amount of time that they have and also what else they need to cover. But a book, in the book for Lord of the Rings, we're more willing to buy Arwen kind of having a more backseat role and not being as visually present in the plot, because that's just how the books can get away with that. They cannot get away with that in the movie. You just can't. Same with why they cut out Elrond sending his sons to help Aragorn in the fight for Minas Tirith. That would not work. It is the reason why they changed the dead army to actually be a thing that can actively kill the orcs, is because then the for the visual medium, that scene of Aragorn going there does not accomplish what it accomplishes in the book, right? They just, because of how the medium works, the time that the movies have, they can't accomplish the same things. So they have to be smarter with their time. Athlete, thank you. And also welcome in. Now, of course, will there still be problems with, in terms of lore continuity or things like that? And does it bring up questions as to why, like, Aragorn didn't try to get them to stay around for the final fight against, like, the attack on the Black Gate? Yes, but it ultimately, they needed to do that because it just would have added more confusion to the story to add in the characters, the rangers, all of that, and it kind of would, in a way, also take away from Aragorn accepting his role as king, because of course that was also another change that they made in Lord of the Rings, from book to movies. In the books, Aragorn from the beginning, from the moment we meet him, is willing to take on the throne of Gondor. But in the movies, they change him because one, general media culture at that time period, and even today, we like a more apprehensive ruler. We want someone that kind of wants to deny it, but then reluctantly takes it on once they feel they have proven themselves. That's what we like in our modern day. And so they changed that for the better. If you were to adapt Lord of the Rings page for page, it would suck. Fellowship of the Ring is one of the most boring, if not the single most boring book I have ever read. And I have read the Silmarillion. I enjoyed reading the Silmarillion more than I enjoyed reading Fellowship of the Ring. The ending of Fellowship of the Ring movie is something that happens.
You continue, Ryan. You get a nice dick, like length and girth. You should be proud of yourself.
I waited to press this button till I felt there was a gap
interrupting
causing
me.
a team player. When Booba Connoisseur react to Stellar Blade.
I don't think I'm ever gonna react to Stellar Blade. You already saw my reaction to the trailer. What was I saying? I got distracted now. Thank you for the resub, Clay. But yeah, Fellowship of the Ring as a book. Oh, yeah, the final scene, when Sean Bean gets killed in Fellowship at the end of the movie. That happens in the Two Towers, if I remember right, in the books. That needed to be done. If that was not switched and put into the end of Fellowship, Fellowship of the Ring movie would have sucked, and I guarantee we probably would have. I don't think these movies would have been as successful. You're muted? No, I'm not. Fuck you. Because you can hear me. I know you can. I see my mic /off. Okay, and then we also got Star Wars, Dave Filoni. I said this to my dad when we were watching that. I'm not going to say any spoilers for Bad Batch, so don't worry. But we're watching. Clay, I'm not muted. Yeah, that was you. Thank you for the bits. For some reason, I don't know what this is. This is something that I don't know the answer to, but for some reason, Dave Filoni is so good at telling a story in animation, but he is terrible at it in live action. Like, Ahsoka is not a bad show, but it is mid. And the parts that were the best were when it was the most animated. Like, the best parts of Ahsoka was when that one person showed up for that one episode. The peak episode of Ahsoka. I think it was episode 5. That was the best episode, and that's because it was kind of the most closely to how Dave Filoni also likes to tell his animated storytelling. So I don't. My guess is that maybe there are more executives and producers getting involved in live action than they do when it's animated. And maybe in the animated they let the storyteller have more freedom, and in live action they don't. That is my guess. I do not know. But yeah, somehow Dave Filoni can tell a fucking amazing story in animation, but he sucks at live action. I think on a meta level, I think Dave Filoni does kind of have the same aspects as Peter Jackson, where he does understand um the mediums in which he is telling the story. Kinda, sort of. I don't think he's that good at the live action medium. I think he's a master of animation. Um, I think he is one of the best animated storytellers ever. And then in regards to Young Griff and Game of Thrones, um, in some ways, Young Griff can be cut. The problem that it became with Young Griff getting cut was purely because of the decisions of the that Dumb and Dumber, D.B. Weiss and David Benioff made. Um, they, uh, I think ultimately, what was the more damaging character to cut? Honestly, in my opinion, it wasn't Young Griff. It was actually Jane Poole, who is Sansa's childhood best friend, and it's actually Jane in the books that gets married and assaulted by Ramsay Bolton, and it's her that Theon rescues from Winterfell. Um, and I think also the just complete abandonment of the Northern Conspiracy, and the I'm forgetting his name, the Lord of the dude that's in charge of White Harbor, Lord of White Harbor, the abandonment of his plot and how he's like murdering Freys and then feeding them to he feeds them he feeds two dead he puts Freys into a meat pie and he feeds them to some Freys and the Boltons at Winterfell just before a massive snowstorm hits, just before they're about to go fight Stannis the Manus. um I think the abandonment of that plot, the erasure of Jane Poole, was more damaging to the overall arc of Game of Thrones um, um, than Young Griff. Because as of right now, the only character that Young Griff has actually really has spoken to is Tyrion, off the top of my head. Tyrion's the only one that has interacted with Young Griff. No other person has interacted with Young Griff. I think they're maybe sending someone to Daenerys, maybe, or something like that. But yeah, Young Griff ultimately, as of right now, as the 5 books, he doesn't really serve. Varys, yeah, but Varys could be written to go like the changing of Varys to working for Daenerys, that could have fit fine. That could have been fine. Um Instead of making him like he's a lot more schemy and his morality is a lot more gray in the books, but to change it in the show and have him be more like genuine in his like have him just be a more genuine believer in finding the rightful monarch who he believes would be the rightful a good ruler. That change I think is fine. Does it make him essentially like a different character? Yes, but I think it's fine. Um, um, so yeah, the abandonment of everyone tied to um, Young Griff, the abandonment of Young Griff, and then essentially changing everyone that was tied to him. Fine. The erasure of John Connington doesn't matter because, yeah, that one just doesn't affect anything either. If Young Griff isn't there, John Connington is not needed whatsoever. So yeah, I think the more damaging thing was Jane Poole being gone because that affects Sansa's arc. Because Sansa is supposed to be getting better at the Game of Thrones, and then she ends up getting forced into a marriage with Ramsay Bolton. That to me never sat right with me. I really did not like that. Um, it should have been like Sansa should have stayed like in the Vale. Like we should have seen her do more. Like she should have Sansa should have been at the forefront. Should have been the one like essentially the one leading in opposition against Cersei, right? And we see Sansa beat Cersei at her own game. that to me would have been the much more narratively satisfying thing. Because it would have been Sansa, learning from, she learned from Cersei and Peter Baelish. Her outsmarting those two would have been the more narratively satisfying thing. But then they did what they fucking did, and it just sucked. Anyways, Helsreach. I want to finish this before
Helsreach, this is the Crusader. We are breaking from the planet. The orbital war is lost. Hell is coming, brother.
Brother! Alright, the action has started. I can't see anything, it's white. Jimmy, repeating yourself. It was good the first time, but then you repeated yourself and it lessened the effect. So, are these orc warships? Hold on. Why are we just shooting it into the sky? I don't know what we're trying to shoot at here. Okay, those were orc warships. Yep. Alright, no, I understand what we were shooting at now. Yep. That's a lot of orcs. My brothers. Wag!
Do you see that?
No, I'm blind.
Do you see that?
That's a lot of orc. He said that.
Are you all as insulted as I am? This is what they send against us? This is what they send, this rabble. We hold one of the mightiest cities on the face of the planet. The fury of its guns sends all skyborne enemies to the ground in flames.
Well, sir, if that was true, then how are those orcs there? Because those orcs were, sky. They came from the sky, and then they're not on fire right now.
We stand united in our thousands. Our weapons without number, our purity without question, and our hearts beating courage through our blood. And this is how they attack us. Brothers and
They probably did. Crash orcs never properly land their crafts.
sisters. A legion of beggars and alien dregs wheezes its way across the plains. Forgive me when the moment comes that they whine and weep against our walls. Forgive me that I must order you to waste ammunition upon their worthless bodies. I have heard many souls speak my name in whispers since I came to Helsreach. I ask you now, do you know me?
And this is one of those moments that's kind of cut. The impact of it is cut detrimentally because, they're just telling us he is telling us right now that his name's being whispered in the streets. We've not been shown that because, well, this doesn't have the time to show us, right? So, this is one of those moments that's it's a good speech in the context of the book because the book makes it work. But because of the medium in which we are viewing this, a 2.5 hour adaptation, edited adaptation. It cuts it low because it's like they weren't though. We've not been shown that. You're just telling us now, and so that kind of just undercuts it.
Do you know me?
Not really.
I am Grimaldus of the Black Templars, a brother to the Steel Legions of this defiant world. Never again in life will your actions carry such consequence. Never again will you serve as you serve now. No duty will matter as much, and no glory will taste as true. We are the defenders of Helsreach. On this day, we carve our legend in the flesh of every alien we slay. Will you stand with me? Yes! Sons and daughters of the Imperium, our blood is the blood of heroes and martyrs. The Xenos dare defile our city. They dare tread the sacred soil of our world. We will throw their bodies from these walls when the final day dawns. This is our city. This is our world. Say it, cry it out, so the bastards in orbit will hear our fury. Run, alien dogs. Come to me. Come to us all. Come and die in blood and fire. For the Templars. For the Steel Legion. For Helsreach. Louder. They cannot hear you, brothers.
Oh, see, this is one of those moments that would genuinely be a sick ass moment in adaptation and in the book, because for one, in the book, again, assuming that the book does what the book should do, and it builds up to this moment by having properly laid out the things that I've complained about here. But like, again, because of that moment there at the beginning of the speech, undercutting it, it doesn't quite capture it, you know? So it like the speech here at the end, it works. I feel like maybe this is a moment where the creator here should have edited the speech, not change the words, but maybe cut out that one moment there of I've heard you whisper my name or whatever he said. I think that's a line that should have been cut and just skipped over. Like kind of edit around the way this speech is worded, cut some words out or whatever. I think would have been fine. Like I think you could have kept the majority of this speech, and the impact would have still worked. But also, we're coming in here with this super epic speech, at 52 minutes. I personally do not feel like we've really been we're being told a lot of things. Which again, I'm not going to hold against the creator. I think it's largely, the problems here are due to trying to take a sci-fi fantasy novel and put it in and scrunch it into a 2.5 hour time. That's right. They're cutting, like, I don't know how long the audiobook for this is, but like I think the average fantasy sci-fi audiobook is like 14 hours or something like that. So they're cutting, like 11.5 hours here of stuff to get this to fit. It's a 12-hour long one, so they have cut 9.5 hours of audio, of story. And so, yeah, like a lot of the stuff that was probably better shown to us in the novel, this is not hitting as hard because we aren't really being given an idea. We're not really getting a good grasp as to how threatening the orcs are. Like, we got a couple scenes, but like one, none of the Templars died when they went into that ship. so we don't really have a good grasp as to how dangerous they could be. Like, they temporarily paralyzed one of the Templars. As an outsider looking in, based on what I have seen so far in this movie, I don't have a solid enough grasp as to whether or not how big of a deal that's supposed to be. You know, so like that moment doesn't really do anything for me. And again, like, we've been told a lot of things, like some of the situations here. We've been told that there have been previous battles for Helsreach, but we haven't really been shown them. Duke, thank you for the follow. I feel like we really haven't been shown them all that well. Now, how would I do it? I have no clue. I have no clue. This is an extreme challenge, trying to literally take something, essentially page for page from one medium into another and cut things out to make it fit into a 2.5-hour movie. No clue what the solution would be. It's a fucking challenge, and it's impressive what the creator has made work, like done visually. But for me, I think a lot of the emotion is not landing for me because they just don't have. They're just directly translating something, and as I've said before, throughout this yap session of a reaction here, they just don't have. That just doesn't work. You can't directly translate a book to the visual medium.
Hurl yourselves at these walls, inhuman filth. Die in our blades. I am Grimaldus of the Black Templars and will cast your carcasses from these holy walls.
I have always believed there is something beautiful in the very first moments of a battle. Here are the moments of highest emotion. The fear of mortal men.
Wait a
The
minute.
frustrated bloodlust and screaming overconfidence of mankind's enemies.
Is he
In the
about to
moments when a battle is
transition
joined,
the art
the
style?
purity of the human species is first revealed to the foe.
What? Sorry. No! My work. My brother. they fly now. Y'all can't shoot an orc that's right in front of your face? I wonder what video game he's taking these orc noises from, because that's totally, those orc noises are coming from the video game 100%. I've heard those noises before. Oh, fucking smack. Oh god, Zack Snyder. Oh god damn it. Why is Zack Snyder in here now? Slow-mo and everything. No! I do like the choice here of our first time getting some definitively clear color is this moment here. This is that's a very humanizing creative decision, and I like that. Right, like we started getting some color as they started turning, but it's still mainly, you know, shades of gray. It is here in this moment where the creator of this film here decided to actually give us clear color. When our Astartes here is kneeling before a dying guard, that is a great decision. Can't really see those kind eyes behind the fucking helmet, Jimmy.
That is a bleak picture. The real battle begins tomorrow.
At least we will not be bored. I believe they will wait. They will wait until they have overwhelming force with which to crush us. And they will strike like a hammer. I requested we withdraw all guard forces from the wasteland installations across all of southern Armageddon Secundus. The Colonel agreed in principle. What's worth guarding out there? Munitions. A great deal of munitions. To be used when the Hive cities fall and need to be reclaimed. But that is not all. The Desert Vultures spoke of a curious legend. Something buried beneath the sands. A weapon.
Dun dun.
Hades' Hive will not survive the first week. What is coming in system now far exceeds what has laid waste to the planet before. The other hives must be reinforced 1,000 times over. Hades will burn.
Awfully optimistic there, buddy. What? And black. Well, oh, there's some color.
Syria Tyro, greetings.
How may I be of service, Reclusiarch?
We have defensive positions in the wastelands, manned by the Steel Legion.
Yes.
Yes. I was informed today exactly what is stored in the underground hangar of the D-16 West Outpost, 98 kilometers to the northwest of the city. None of our briefings mentioned it was a sealed Mechanicus facility. Do you know your history, Adjutant Tyro?
I have studied several of the decisive battles of the First War.
Then you will know what Mechanicus weapon was designed and first deployed here.
I don't think you can be right.
Perhaps not. But I intend to learn the truth for myself. One of our gunships will carry a small group to D-16 West in 1 hour.
But it's sealed.
It will not be sealed for long.
It's Mechanicus territory.
I do not care. If I am right in my suspicions, there is a weapon there. I want that weapon, Syria Tyro, and I will have it.
You can't leave the city before dawn. The enemy...
The enemy will not break the city walls in the first day. And Bayard, Emperor's champion of the Helsreach crusade, will command the Templars in my absence.
I can't allow you to do this. It will enrage the Mechanicus.
I am not asking for your permission, Adjutant. I am asking if you wish to come with us.
And when you're with your least bring a bat together.
Try not to get us shot down.
Brother, does anyone ever laugh at your jokes?
Humans sometimes do.
Bird.
My princeps.
Hello, Valiant.
My princeps, the adepts of the soul are reporting discontent within Storm Herald's heart. We are getting anomalous readings of ill temper from the reactor core.
We are angry, Maserati. We yearn to bring the thunder down upon our foes.
That is understandable, my princeps. You are operating at peak capacity. You are sanguine?
Are you querying if I am at risk of
being consumed by Storm Herald's heart?
Maintenance adept, attend to the princeps vocalizer unit. I trust you, my princeps. Forgive me for troubling you.
There is no... Your concern touches me, Valiant. We will see battle soon, Valiant. Grimaldus has promised it to us.
We are all ready, my princeps.
Andre?
What is it now, eh? I'm busy, okay?
Is that a gunship?
What are you talking about, eh?
That. This is Damaska at Boundary 3. Contact. Imperial gunship inbound.
That is the Black Templars, yes? They are from Helsreach. I know this. I listen to my briefings. I do not sleep like you.
This can't be good.
I do not agree, you know? This is Astartes business. It will be good. Good for us, bad for the enemy. What? It will be good. You'll see, eh? I'm always right. Should we, salute? Is that what you're supposed to do?
I don't know. Just stand at attention.
Captain, I'm Adjutant Quintus Tyro, seconded to Hive Helsreach from the Lord General's command staff. With me are Reclusiarch Grimaldus and Master of the Forge Jurisian of the Black Templars chapter.
Greetings.
We've come to enter the installation.
Forgive me. Is this a joke?
Far from it. There is no power here. They left this place entirely devoid of energy.
No, there is power. The installation sleeps but does not lie dead. It is locked in hibernation. Power still beats through its veins. The resonance is low, the pulse is slow. I hear it nevertheless.
Can you open these doors? Can you get us down into the complex?
It will necessitate a great deal of rerouting power from auxiliary sources, and those will be difficult to reach from a remote connection point here. A parasitic feed is required.
Jurisian. Answer the question.
Forgive me, Reclusiarch. Yes, I will need 1 hour.
Digging for secrets in the sand, yes? Well, that is not going to make the Mechanicus smile, I think.
Rock. Rock right. That's not good. What's going on? Why it's happening to the Princeps?
This is a magnetic field stabilizer housing.
What does it do?
It houses the stabilizers for a magnetic field generator.
I was right. This is it.
It is so beautiful. It is magnificent. This would survive orbital bombardment. It is void shielded, armored like no bunker I have ever seen, and sealed with a billion or more individual codes.
Can you do it?
I have never witnessed anything so complex and incredible. It would be like mapping every particle within a star.
Can you do it?
Yes, Helsreach, but it will take between 9 and 11 days.
That's a lot of days. I don't know if y'all got that time.
It can't be here.
It is. This is where the Mechanicus hid the Ordinatus Armageddon after the First War. This is the tomb of Oberon.
I don't think the prologue told us about that. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Helsreach. Grimaldus, speak. The old man's predictions were correct, as you suspected. The enemy is annihilating Hades' Hive from orbit. It is crudely done. Standard bombardment with mass drivers to hurl asteroids at a defenseless city. A dark day's work, brother. Will you return soon? We are on our way back now.
Bye-bye, CD. It's bright. Rip Hive Hades. Ain't gone now. I like that. I like the how, you know, you see this in movies a lot with big explosions where it's the big flash and then a few seconds later the wave, the shaking and the wave comes. Love that visualization always. I'm a sucker for that. I'll always approve. Just gonna stare at it? Oh.
Yarrick was right. Hades is burning.
Brace yourself, brothers.
Oh. Creative, I like it. They strap no on wood. If it's just well, they strapped rockets to the meteoroid. So, but I wonder if they were likely probably nuclear grade. Well, does an explosion just have to be big enough to cause a mushroom cloud? Or are mushroom clouds only formed from nuclear bombs? Or is it just big ass explosion will create mushroom cloud? 'Cause I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the science of big boom. Any big enough boom, any big boom will, or any boom big enough will form a mushroom cloud. Okay. Thank you. Fuck that. No, a baby with wings and a fucking weird ass. No, no, give me a no, no. Fucking put that thing down. Put it out of its misery. It's horrifying. It's disgusting. Babies are gross enough already. You don't need to make them even. Ugh. I hate it. Mutant. It's fucking creep. Okay, this is a flashback? 'Cause it's in black and white, on gray.
Hey, this is better than sitting on our asses in the desert, yes? Yes, it is. That's what I think.
Be quiet. HQ, this is Damaska. Tank destroyed. Most likely part of the second group that passed you an hour ago.
Scout Team 3, proceed as instructed with all due caution.
Ready, Andre?
I have 3 debt packs left, okay? 3 more tanks must die. Then I get that caffeine the captain promised.
Nope, not a flashback. Okay. I thought like the increasing color was going to be like an indicative of passage of time, or well, like kind of a consistency for time as we get further and further into the. But no, we're just going back and forth, I guess, between moments that have more color and those that have less.
Brother, the crone of Invigilata requests your presence. I am in prayer. I know Reclusiac. Did she request?
Indicative of how well Grimaldus remembers the events, the important bits, basically. Okay. I feel like that's not being too well conveyed for me. Maybe it's how Grimaldus feels. I don't know.
My presence, Arterian? No, Reclusiac. She, demands.
I think it's a neat touch, whatever he's trying to do with it, but for me, I'm not quite grasping.
Once my ritual observations are complete. I do not believe she is in the mood to be kept waiting, Grimaldus. Nevertheless, waiting is what she will do.
I need more time, Grimaldus.
You ask for the one thing I cannot give.
This might take me months, perhaps years. As the code evolves, it breeds sub-ciphers that, in turn, require dedicated cracking. It breeds like an ecology. Always changing, reacting to my intrusions by evolving into more complex systems.
I want that cannon, Jerisian. Bring it to me.
As you will, Reclusiac.
You requested my presence?
No. I summoned you. You should be staying where you stand.
That would be an unwise solution. No one in this room is capable of wounding me.
I see you do not show your face this time, Knight. You see me revealed, yet you hide behind the death mask of your Emperor.
Our Emperor. Let us tread carefully, you and I will answer the questions you have regarding D16 West.
Tell me why you have done this.
It is the Ordinatus Armageddon. It is one of the greatest weapons ever wielded by man. This is a war, Zaha. I need weapons to win it.
Necessity is not enough. You may not harness Oberon on a whim, Grimaldus.
The Master of the Forge will determine that for himself.
You do not understand. The sacred war platforms must be blessed by the Lord of the Centurial Ordinatus. Their machine spirit would be enraged without this appeasement. Oberon will never function. Do you not see?
The only reason the Mechanicus is not committing one of its greatest weapons to the war to save this world is because it remains unblessed.
Yes. The soul of the machine will rebel. If it even awakens, it will be wrathful.
It grieves me to ignore your wishes, Princeps, but I will not have Jerisian cease his ministrations.
Grimaldus, I am ordered by my superiors to see you dead before you continue this course of action. This can only end one way.
My Princeps!
Yes, Varian?
we're getting Auspex returns. 4 heat signatures inbound from directly above. The city's wall guns are not tracking them.
No. The city defenses wouldn't shoot down 4 of my Thunderhawks.
Grimaldus, no.
My princeps! Forget him! We demand orders at once!
If you try to raise the shields and prevent my attempt to leave, I will order my gunships to open fire on this bridge. Your void shields will never rise in time.
You would kill yourself?
I would. And you. And your Titan.
I said when last we met that you had kind eyes.
I remember.
It is true, but I regret it. I regret ever speaking a fair word to you, blasphemer.
I like Grimaldus. Like him. Talk smack. He means business. Wow! That's a dope visual. I love that.
Hades may burn,
Oh, speech time.
but it burns because the enemy fears us.
Monologue.
It burns to hide the enemy's shame, so they need never look upon the place where they lost the last war. While the walls of Helsreach stand, while one defender draws breath, the city will never...
Nope. They cut the monologue short. How dare they, those bastards? And I see the walls are breached now.
Sons of Dawn, Knights of the Emperor, charge!
Arterion suffers more than the rest of us. He sacrifices one hand to hold my banner aloft. The standard draws the enemy to him. They want our banner. They always do.
Casually one-handed lifted that thing. Alright. Strong boy. Oh. Tank time. I love how stupid orc technology is.
I have heard it said that the greenskins raise their titans as idols to their strange piggish gods. That would explain why they're so hideous.
I think it's beautiful. Not ugly.
Engine kill?
That was dealt with pretty easily.
You owe me for that, Grimaldus.
God, I love the sound effect of the Titan. Power of the name.
Your request for reinforcement is acknowledged. They're coming.
You said that half an hour ago.
I know, but they're coming.
Reinforcements are en route. You said that half an hour ago.
Oh.
The bastards are rolling armor up the road. Did I hear you shouting about reinforcements again? They're coming. Throne white is everyone whining about that.
Your request for reinforcement is acknowledged.
They're nailing the sound effect for the Titan. The Titan just feels its weight. I love that. Kaiju battle.
Storm Herald has taken her.
She still lives.
She's gone from us, Reclusiarch. The shame of it all, the rage of defeat. We all felt the Titan rush into her. Her soul is buried as surely as her body would be in a grave. This is how princeps die.
That is unacceptable.
It is the truth.
Then the truth is unacceptable. Rogal Dawn and Horus were close before the Great Heresy.
Are we gonna get any more than that, or is it just gonna be Thorn was once close with the biggest heretic? Thorn was once buddies with the heretic. Okay.
It has always been told among
Oh,
the
nope,
Black
we are getting
Templars that when the two brothers crusaded together, they were said to have made an oath in blood. Until the end, they would say. Zaha, you swore to me that you would walk.
You're right, Grimaldus. I did swear I would walk.
Stand.
Just need a little pep talk and you're brought back from the dead, dude. That's how it works. It's that simple, baby. Fight time.
Void shields active, my princeps.
Make ready the hunt.
Plasma reactor reports all systems at viable integrity, my princeps.
Then we move. I heard you as I was dying. I heard you calling me.
Yes. I called you back to this war.
Until the end, then.
Until the end, Zaha.
One. Okay.
We are dying.
Oh. Optimistic. But honest. Oh. Which one is it?
Kador.
Thank you.
Ambush along enemy-controlled portions of Hell's Highway. Gene seed recovered. The 36th day. 36 days of grueling siege. Almost half of Helsreach gone. Lost to smoke and flame in bitter, galling defeat.
Brother. Now is not the time.
But how did they get that gene seed off of Helsreach?
Time to grieve.
What are they gonna do with it? Like, if they all die, then that gene seed's just gonna be stuck on the planet.
It is done. It is strange. I do not wish to leave him. That is not Kador. Kador is gone. You are leaving nothing behind. You are heartless, brother. Even for one who wears the black, that is a cold thing to say. I loved him, as one can love any warrior that fights by your side for 200 years, boy. I will miss Kador for the few days that remain to me, before this war kills me as well. But no, I do not grieve. There is nothing to grieve over when a life has been led in service to the throne. I see. We will speak of this again. Now mount up, brothers.
Now that is a good moment of showing us the relationship between the team here. That was a really good moment.
Death. Does it trouble you? I do not wish to speak of this, Primus. He did not die well. I said I have no desire to speak of this, brother. Leave me be. Well, I only say this because if I were as close to him as you were, it would have grieved me also.
Primus,
He died
read the room.
badly. An ugly, ugly death. He killed several before he fell. He did. But his death wound was in the back. That would shame me beyond measure.
Primus, my boy.
Leave me alone. Helsreach will fall tonight.
Primus ain't too sharp.
Baskerland says, giving voice to something we must all be thinking. Not tonight. Do not lie to me, Grimaldus. Save your words for the others, brother. Make ready to jump. Nero, do you stand ready? What? I need you, Nero. Our brothers need you. Do not lecture me, Reclusiac. I stand ready. Cador is dead. Grief has its place. But if you are lost in sorrow, I said I stand ready. Why do you single me out like this? Primus is likely to see us all dead because he cannot follow orders. Bastelin and Arterion are not half the fighters Cador was. Yet you lecture me about being the weak one. A crack in the blade. Bitterness is taking root within you, brother. When I tell you to focus and stand with your brothers, you respond with black words and treacherous thoughts. So I tell you again one last time, that we need you, and you need us. Yes, Reclusiac. My brothers, forgive me. My humors are unbalanced, and my mind has been adrift. A mind without purpose will walk in dark places. It is fine, Nero. I miss him just as you do. I forgive you, Nerevar.
Primus, we still need to work on that social intelligence, my guy. Nice dodge.
Incoming missiles. Too close to evade. Jump now or die with me.
Job of evading those missiles that are supposed to be impossible to evade.
Disengage now. Reclusiac. There is no need to die here.
Okay. I don't know what to grab. A brace. He did the superhero landing. That would look cool as fuck in a if he had the money for a higher budget animation and stuff like that. That would look so fucking cool. Like it still looks cool, but imagine how much cooler it would look if he had more money, more time. Ooh. Team, a full ass team. Oh, I can envision it already.
We saw that, Reclusiac. Dawn's blood, we all saw it.
He did a superhero landing, didn't he?
Sir?
Yes?
Emergency signal from the Serpentine in orbit. She requests immediate cessation of all anti-air weaponry in the docks district.
Reinforcements.
That's a good visual too. I love it. The wide shots of that. I don't know the symbols. I still don't know. I still I still don't know the symbols of this world. My boy, the salamanders? Yo, let's go. My favorite. Or either them or the emo boys. I still haven't decided. Back to, well, some color, but mostly gray. Docks. Wah! Wah! They were finally cheering it. I headed to your back.
We're losing this road. We are but 6 against a legion. 5. Cater is dead. Forgive me, brother. A moment's lack of focus.
Why not smack him with the banner?
Get up!
Bro just got stabbed in the knee. I don't think he can really... Okay. Oh, he did.
Not coming out. In the name of the Emperor, stand and fight, or we all die.
From a medical perspective, I don't think you just want to rip that out. I feel like, you know, that was kind of keeping blood in. Unless, of course, you need to take it out and then the Astartes body just stitches itself back together. I don't know how the fuck they work, but... Okay. Okay. They do stitch themselves back together? Okay. Never mind then. Ignore what I said.
Hello, Reclusiac.
You have the thanks of the Black Templars, Stormtrooper.
It was good timing, I think.
What is your name?
Trooper Andre, 703rd Steel Legion Stormtrooper Division, sir.
It is good to see you on the field. Courage such as yours belongs at the vanguard.
Thank you, Reclusiac.
I will remember your names and deeds this day. All of you. Helsreach may burn.
All of them?
This
That's a
war
lot.
is not lost.
I am very honored, Reclusiac, as are these handsome and fine gentlemen with me. But if you could tell my captain about this, I would be even happier.
It will be done, Trooper Andre. You have my word.
I am hopeful this will also impress the lady I intend to marry.
Yes. Good.
Was the Templar about to laugh? I think the Templar was about to laugh.
What's that? It can't be what it looks like. It is.
Yeah.
What are they? Drop pods. Astartes drop pods.
My boys.
I am honored to fight at your side, Reclusiac Grimaldus. The Templars are in your debt, but tell me, brother, why have you come?
We were the last of the salamanders in orbit. The Lord of the Fireborn called us to him.
Lord of the Fireborn. Oh. Love that name.
And we obeyed.
Master Tushan, may the Emperor continue to favor him, fights far from here, brother. The salamanders bleed the enemy many leagues to the east, and the Hemlock River runs black with alien blood.
The salamanders were not blind to your plight, honored Reclusiac. My lord and master heard of the assured civilian devastation in the fall of the city's coastal districts. We are the 70 warriors chosen to make planetfall here, and stand with you until the docks are held.
And then you will leave.
And then we will leave. Our fight is along the banks of the Hemlock. Our glory is there.
Oh, Bean.
This city, it smells like home.
One week later.
The most honorable Legio Invigilata has been petitioned by outside forces to leave the city. She will stay. She swore to fight. As I understand it, the Imperial advances along the length of the Hemlock River are grinding to a halt. The settlements there, protected by the Salamanders and regiments of the Cadian Shock, are now considered a higher priority than the city. This is from the old man himself. It came over the Vox an hour ago. I do not care. Our mandate is to defend Helsreach. Our mandate, yes. But Princeps Zaha's mandate was to deploy where she desired. She will not leave. She is here until the end. Oh, enough, please, Reclusiac. Storm Herald is embattled 7 kilometers down the Hell's Highway with an enemy scrap Titan battalion in the Rostoric Ironworks. She has given no further word of her decision. What of the, weapon, Reclusiac? A fool's hope. None of us had much hope pinned on the Ordinatus. It was the longest of long shots, any way you slice it. There is nothing to like in them. They wage war to defend, to preserve. Everything in their way is devoted to maintaining what humanity already has. I mean no offense to them as warriors, but drop-podding into the city purely to defend civilians? Madness! Bastard, please, you know I am right. I know you are treading on unstable ground. Do not besmirch the honor of our brother chapter. The Salamanders shed as much blood as we did this week. That is not the point. That is where you and I disagree, brother. But you are young. You will learn. Do not patronize me, old man. I'm not that old. Do not laugh at me. Stop making me laugh. What 2 chapters fight the same? What 2 chapters wage war according to the same principles? We are all born of different worlds and trained by different masters. Accept the differences and stand with them as allies.
I like that.
Sergeant Fereth, the people of Helsreach and Armageddon offer their thanks to you and your brothers for the assistance. You'll quit the city today? The Lord of the Fireborn calls. Quite so, quite so. I offer my personal thanks. Without your arrival, many more would have lost their lives. You are fighting with ferocity unmatched, Steel Legionnaire. It was an honor to fight at your side on the streets of your city. The honor was ours, Fereth. Hunt well in the wastelands, and give my thanks to your lord.
What do you want, Salamander?
To speak, if you are willing, Reclusiac.
I would be honored, I tell him. But this is a lie.
My brothers and I came to this city without the illuminating guidance of our chaplain. We would offer reverent thanks if you would lead us in prayer before we quit the city and rejoin our chapter by the shores of the Hemlock.
I know little of your chapter's cult and creed, Salamander.
We know this, Reclusiac. Still, we would offer sincere thanks.
Salamander's the best.
Think of the battle last night. There was one moment in the chaos that still preys upon my mind. It casts a shadow over us now, like an enemy's spear threatening to fall.
What aspect of the battle troubles you, Reclusiac?
A fine question.
What?
Where are the salamanders?
They're holding.
They're what?
Follow us, in the name of the throne!
Hold back! Hold back to the eastern platform and be ready to engage the second wave.
Advance! If we strike now, there will be no second wave. We're at the Warlord's throat. He's getting away! Fall back! Sir! No! Fall back! This is not worth dying over. We do not have the numbers to spill the Warlord's blood now.
You could shoot him from that range and give him a little pew-pew.
I see. You consider this a stain on your personal honor?
No, brother. I consider it a waste of time, ammunition, and life. 2 of your own squad were killed in the successive waves that followed. If we had pursued in unity, we could have broken through to the enemy leader and taken his head.
It is tactically unsound, Reclusiac. Pursuit would have left the shelter undefended and vulnerable to regrouping waves attacking from other sectors. 3,000 lives were saved by our defiance last night.
There were no attacks from other sectors.
There may have been, had we pursued.
I am finished with this debate, Salamander.
It grieves me to hear you speak this way, Reclusiac.
Get out of my city.
Not even gonna lead him prayer? Okay. what I liked about that exchange between the salamander and our Templar here is it did a really good job of showing the differences in how those two groups are like raised, taught, trained. They both have very, in a way, valid perspectives on what they believe will save the most amount of lives in that moment, right? There is a valid argument to be made on the side of the Templars, and in the same breath, there is the salamanders also have a very valid statement. They're like right, like you can't, both sides are not wrong and both sides are not right in that situation there. That's good writing. That's good. I like that.
He is not ready. He is a master of small engagements and a warrior beyond peer, but he is not a leader of the chapter.
The Forge Master speaks the truth, High Marshal. Grimaldus is flawed by hesitation. A second's delay in all he does, and it is no secret why. He holds himself to his master's standards. Doubt clings to him, darkening his place in the chapter.
He is shaken by Mordred's death. He seeks his place in the Eternal Crusade.
In the coming war, I will give him the chance to find that place.
This is different. Complete art style change here. Hold on.
The city is falling, brother.
No, more crisp, clear.
Sarin and the other humans face that fact today. The time has come for us to choose where we will die. Then let it be where we will be remembered. Us to Sarin and the other is falling, brother. Sarin and the other humans face that fact today.
Sarin. Who was Sarin? Who was that?
The time has come for us to choose where we will die. Then let it be where we will be remembered. Let it be where our deaths will matter, and give birth to tales worthy of being recorded in humanity's history. I know of a place. It is far from here, but there is no holier place on this entire world.
He was the guy riding the tank.
There we shall dig our graves, and there we will ensure the great enemy forever remembers the name of the Black Templars.
Helsreach has weeks left, but little beyond that. The siege is almost at our own gate.
We received a message from the Astartes commander in the city, the Reclusiarch. He sends word that his knights are en route to stand with us in defense.
The Reclusiarch is bringing the Black Templars here.
Yes, Prioress.
Did he happen to say why he felt the sudden wish to fight alongside the Order of the Ardent Shroud?
No, Prioress. I suspect it ties into Colonel Sarin's decision to break up the remaining defenders into separate bastions. The Reclusiarch has chosen the temple.
I see. I doubt he asked permission.
No, Prioress, he didn't.
Typical Astartes. When do they arrive?
Before sunset, Mistress.
Very well. Damn it all. Well, don't just stand there gawking, girl. Prepare my battle armor.
Well, how long has it been since you wore your armor, Prioress?
How old are you, girl?
15, Mistress.
What?
Well then, let's just say you couldn't wipe your own backside last time I went to war. but it'll be good to deliver a sermon with a bolter in hand again.
Oh, that was big. That's a big thing.
Hail, Reclusiac. Hail, Bayard, I say to the Emperor's champion of the Helsreach Crusade.
My liege.
Primus. Still breathing, I see.
Nothing on this world will change that, my liege.
Arise, brother. The day will never come that you must kneel before me. Arterian, Vastelan, it is good to see you both. And you, Nero. Cador's fall tore at my heart, brother. He and I served in the Sword Brethren together. Did you know that?
I knew it, my liege. Cador spoke of it often. He was one of us.
Well, well, well. The Emperor's chosen. Come to stand with us at last.
Hail, Prioress.
I am Prioress Sindel, and in the name of Saint Sylvana, I bid you welcome to the Temple of the Emperor Ascendant.
Reclusiac Grimaldus of the Black Templars. I cannot help but notice that you do not sound welcoming.
Should I be? Half of the Temple District has already fallen in the last week. Where were you then,
We were at the docks, you ungrateful little harpy. Be at ease.
That was fast.
We were, as my brother Primus explained,
God damn it,
engaged
Primus.
in the east of the Hive.
Read the room.
But we are here now, when the war is at its darkest, as the enemy approach the temple doors.
I have fought with Astartes before.
Now hold on, Tortoise. I got it. And let me tell you, I'd still be able to read a room better than that. I think Primus is just stupid.
I have fought alongside warriors who would have given their lives for the Imperium's ideals, and warriors that cared only for accruing glory, as if they could wear their honor like armor. Both breeds were Astartes.
We are not here to be lectured on the state of our souls.
Whether you are or not doesn't matter, Reclusiac. Will you dismiss your fellow warriors from the chamber, please? There is much to speak of.
We can speak of the temple's defense in front of my brothers.
Indeed we can. And when the time comes to speak of such things, they will be present. For now, please dismiss them.
He wants to give you a kiss.
Remove your helm, please.
Tell me why I should.
Because I would like to look upon the face of the man I'm speaking with, and because I wish to anoint you with the waters of elucidation.
A moment, please.
This water is thrice blessed. It brings clarity of purpose when anointed onto the doubting and the lost.
I am not lost.
I did not mean to imply that you were, Reclusiac, but many who come here are. Kneel, if you would. I cannot reach all the way up there. You have beautiful eyes. There. You are blessed and may tread the sacred floor of the inner sanctum without guilt. May you find the answers you seek in the house of the God Emperor.
Very few left. There will be enough. Have faith in your brother's blades, Bayard. I have faith. I am sanguine with my fate, Chaplain. My rank is Reclusiarch. Use it. By your will, brother, of course. But we stand vigil over the city's death, with a handful of bleeding humans, Reclusiarch. I am sanguine, but I am also a realist. Have faith in the people of this city, champion. Such condescension is beneath you. These people are fighting for more than their homes and lives. They are fighting for their ancestors' honor, on the holiest ground in the entire world. The survivors of this war across the globe will take heart from sacrifices made by the thousands destined to die here. Blood of Dawn, Bayard. The Imperium was born in moments such as this. My voice was one of the few that spoke against your ascension to Mordred's rank. I would have said the same in your place.
Oh, it's back! It's right behind me, isn't it? Boom. They've done the Titans so well in this movie. Phenomenal. The scale of it, its power. Such a good job.
Hail, Adjutant Quintus Tyro, Major Riken. We got cut off from Sarin and the others. Throne, there are still thousands of the bastards out there. And that's not the worst of it. Explain.
The enemy still has Titans, and there's one you'll never believe until you look upon it with your own eyes. We saw it march from Rostrick Ironworks, collapsing habitation towers in its wake.
Move inside and see to your wounds. If the end is coming to these walls, you will need to stand ready. Oh, we'll all be ready. The bastards took my face, and that made it personal. Madness. Reclusiarch. Humans, they are a mystery to me.
But like, you're here.
As soon as it has recharged my princeps. My princeps, we must disengage. We need to rearm and cool the plasma core in standard sustained venting procedure.
No more lectures. I do not care.
I'm ready. Firing. Wait for the stabilizers to come back online. They only need another minute.
I don't think you have another minute.
The arm isn't badly damaged. I'm taking a shot. I can make it.
You'll miss, Val. Give them 30 seconds. Just 30 more seconds.
Firing.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
No. This can't be. You've killed us.
I had the shot.
You son of a bitch!
Oh.
Why hasn't it fired?
Fucking kaiju battle!
I stood until the end, as promised.
Alright, we have reached the climactic moment when everything is as bad as it can get, pretty much. Well, I think we need a couple of Astartes more to die, and I think we'll be at that.
I beg the many forgivings of this holy place for my intrusion, but I bring news, yes? Do not be angry. The Vox is still playing many unamusing games, and I could not speak with anyone in any other way.
Speak, Legionnaire.
The beasts. They are coming in great force. Many are not far behind us, and I have heard Vox chatter that Invigilata is leaving the city.
Why would they leave us?
They would quit the city at once if Princeps Zaha was gone. Mechanicus politics.
She is gone, Reclusiac. An hour ago, we saw Storm Herald die.
I don't know if gravestones are gonna be good cover. But if it's all you got, kind of fuck. Wah! Oh. My throat is ruined. Wah! I love the orb.
A moment, please. You are destined to either survive this or die at least sometime later than I.
Oh, what is this?
My mother's wedding ring, and a letter of explanation. Once this is over, if you are still drawing breath, please find Trooper Natalina Domoska of the 91st Steel Elite. You will recognize her, this I promise to you. She is the most beautiful woman in the world. Every man says so.
I like Andre. He's goofy. Goofy little guy. Simple man. Wait! I know she's older, too. Goodbye. Ooh. Broken back.
All back, sir! Not yet.
Now, you ass, come on!
Are they coming? Oh! The bloody Templars! They're above!
He kind of just went out like a little bitch. You see piles around him, so like... Weak!
The Black Sword!
Oh! Alright. Now we're getting to the moment where we're at the darkest moment.
Priamus, Reclusiac, you are the last Emperor's champion of the Helsreach Crusade. Now, recover your blade.
Get to swinging, my boy. Oh, he's swinging. Big Titan. Big Orc Titan. Which means, how much time is left? We should be getting the super ancient Adeptus Mechanicus technology before everyone dies. That's a lot of fucking guns. Oh. Did he? Is that what I think? Is that the technology? The thingamabob? Yep, that's totally. Yeah.
Engine. Kill.
Status of the weapon.
Oberon has no void shields, no secondary weapon systems, and Suspenser lift capability is limited. Alone, I can fire it no more than once every 20 minutes. I need to recharge the fuel cells manually and regenerate flow from the plasma containment.
Heed these last words, Forge Master. Do not bring the weapon too close. The Temple District is
Naught but fire and ash, and we are surrounded on all sides.
Flee the city. Pursue Invigilata's retreating forces, and link up with the Imperial assault along the Hemlock.
You wish me to run?
I wish you to live rather than die in vain, and save a weapon precious to the Imperium. We will be buried here, Jurisian. There is no dishonor that your fate is elsewhere. For Dawn and the Emperor.
By your will, Reclusiac.
Kaboom. Wow.
Kill them all! Let none survive! Never has an alien defied this holiest of places!
Take heart, brothers! Fight in the Emperor's name!
No last big monologue.
I have dug my grave in this place.
Oh, yep, monologue.
I will either triumph or I will die. No pity, no remorse, no fear.
Oh. Holy mother, no! Oh. I don't know who said that word. Is he doing the fucking... Yeah, he is.
Grimaldus, brother. Altaria. Goodbye, brother.
I will die on this world. I will die.
That's such a cool fucking shot, dude. Oh my god. That it? At the end?
They call it the season of fire. The ash wastes are choking with dust from roaring volcanoes. Fighting across most of the world is ceasing, not because of victory or defeat, but because there can be no arguing with Armageddon itself. In a handful of days, no man or Xenos beast will be able to breathe in the wastelands, so the war ceases for now. Imperial forces consolidate the territories to which they still lay claim, and drive the invaders out from those where the orcs have managed to grasp no more than a weak hold. Helsreach is one of these places.
hello, hero. Greetings, Andre.
Did he survive?
Perhaps you should salute me now, though. Yes? I am not beholden to a guard captain. But congratulations. Yes, I know. But I must be offering many thanks for you keeping your word and telling my captain of my deeds. An oath is an oath.
How'd they survive?
Your friend, your love. Did you find her?
He died.
Yes. I did find her. I am glad you made it.
He died.
I heard you were very injured, yes? Not enough to kill me. The reports I have heard indicated no one else survived the fall of the Basilica. Yes, that would make for a wonderful story, no? The last Black Knight, the only survivor of the greatest battle in Helsreach. I apologize for surviving and breaking the flow of your
I love
legend,
Andre.
Prologue. I promise most faithfully that I and the 6 or 7 others will be very quiet and let you have all the thunder. Were you not injured at all? Yeah, I had a headache, but then it went away.
All right, fucking Chad.
This makes me smile. Arterium, Priamus, Bastellan, Cador, Nero. Forgive me for living, while you all lie cold and still. We are judged in life for the evil we destroy. It is a bleak truth that there is
Transition
nothing
to a
but
new
blood
group he's
awaiting
working
us
with.
in the spaces between the stars. But the Emperor sees all that transpires in his domain, and we are judged equally for the illumination we bring to the blackest nights. We are judged in life for those moments we spill light into the darkest reaches of his Imperium. Your world taught me this.
Oh no, he's speaking.
Your world
Survivor.
and the war that brought me here. Hero of Helsreach. The crowd cheers. As if there is only one.
Okay. That was fucking good. Yeah, you can tell the overall, you know, and I mean, like, all of the fan films that we've watched so far have all been, you know, still very made by incredibly talented people. But you can still tell, like, the difference in quality from a fan film to one that is funded and edited by the owners of said IP. There is a stark quality difference, and also I think an intrinsic deeper understanding of the humanity of that is lurking underneath. He used an Xbox Kinect for motion capture. Jesus Christ. This dude, this is one of those filmmakers that's incredibly talented. He should be making feature films. He really should be. But yeah, they're based on what we've seen with how the other fan films that we've watched have, like, kind of portrayed the universe. This was the first one where we really got the humanization of everything, right? Where the Astartes actually, you know, they are separate from humans, but you can still see that their human aspects still leak through. And I just feel like we haven't gotten that in the lore, because it's hard to do that. I feel like it's hard to convey that in lore videos. But we also haven't gotten that in the fan-written fan films. So then this here one from a book that was, written by someone that was hired by a Games Workshop, they were able to convey that. And I feel like what Richard Boylan was able to do, trimming a 12-hour book into 2.5 hours, I still have my complaints. Those are still going to remain because that's just how it is. But overall, a damn amazing translation, adaptation. Yeah, I don't see how else really, like, and the art was art. Literally, like, every scene was like fucking gorgeous. Like, I love this art style. I mean, it kind of was a little weaker when you look when it was the close up shots of um of the faces, of the unmasked faces. That was when it kind of was weaker, but literally that's just me nitpicking, and not all, like, it didn't detract from anything. Like, I feel like it it can be hard, like, yeah, this is honestly, I think I would give this, if I were to rank it, I think I'd give it a 10 out of 10, because I think it's as good as you can I think it's as good of a fan film as you can make for what he was trying to accomplish here. I don't think you could really do any better. Maybe, I don't know, maybe turning it into like a Lord of the Rings thing, where it's like a at least 3 hour long thing. Maybe if he did 30 more minutes of this, maybe then we could have gotten some of that stuff that I was saying we weren't being shown, right? And maybe then we could have, right? But, like, this was something he was doing without, like, getting paid for it or whatever, right? So, I'm not gonna knock him for cutting stuff out. He had a goal. I think he effectively achieved what he was wanting to achieve. So yeah, I think so. It hasn't been uploaded yet as of this live stream, but in the coming days, I'll finally be uploading the Imperium of Man Part 2 Lewitton lore video, which covers the Horus Heresy. And I kind of think that, because we know there's adaptations in the work, I kind of want this to be the first one they do. I want this to be, because I feel like it accomplishes, like, I think this would be a very good standalone to accomplish, to set the tone of the universe, get people, like, mentally ready for it. Be a story of, I don't know. I feel like this conveyed, like, yeah, do I have a better understanding of the Space Marines than probably the average person because of how much of videos I've watched by now? Yeah, but I still feel like this conveyed enough about the Space Marines to get an understanding of them and how they are different. I think you might have to, if they do make this as a mini series, they would probably have to elevate the regular humans. Have one regular human be a bit higher up as a focal point. Probably Andre. Have one of the other survivors be a more important focal point, and not just really the Space Marines. I think that would still be fine. But also, I don't know, part of me still feels like they could do it roughly like this, and the general audience is going to understand. Because they don't need to. Ultimately, the people the audience doesn't really need to know that much about the Space Marines to understand what is happening at Helsreach. Through this, just using this as an example, we got the insinuation of there being internal politics, being a problem for the defense of Helsreach. We got, I feel like, a good grasp that, I mean, just looking at them from a size difference, but also with the way in which the Astartes act, we get a good understanding of how different they are from regular humans. I feel like I feel like they can tell it. I feel like they can tell it just fine. I think you definitely need I definitely think it's probably got to be a mini series. More for the visuals, be very expensive. Yeah, but I think they've got the money to throw at it. I think they'd have the money, especially because they're working with Amazon Prime, I think, and Prime, I think, is willing to throw the money. Oh no, you bring up a good point. Well, CGI has gotten really cheap, and I think to build a horde of orcs, that's not going to be that expensive. I do think you are correct in the Titans part. I think the Titans would be a problem. But that one, I feel like a clever director would be able to work around it though. Because I mean, I also feel like any adaptation of Warhammer, if they do live action, it is going to be expensive to do. Horus Heresy, which would probably be like the most epic grand scale kind of thing that they can do with the product that we've seen, because the Horus Heresy has like a beginning and end kind of to its story. Whereas if they just drop us into the 41st millennium, I'll be honest, there really isn't, like, it's a continuous story, right? The war is never going to end. That's the point. I don't think that's a good place to start off with. I think they've got to start off with something that is self-contained, and something that is intense. So I think, personally, I think they have to start with Helsreach or Horus Heresy. If my guess is, my assumption based on how what producers want and what they continue to still advertise in this day and age, producers still are trying to make the next Game of Thrones. They advertise anything that is grimdark as the next Game of Thrones. Hell, they even advertise shit that isn't grimdark as the next Game of Thrones. So I think with that in mind, I think they would probably I think the producers, if the producers know anything about the franchise, I think the first one would be Horus Heresy, because that is political, and it will have epic battles. It has everything that they want, and it can have the human element. As I will be saying, like, you will hear me say this in the Horus Heresy video. The Horus Heresy has very human elements. The human elements of Horus, how he's like jealous or whatever, he gets jealous, he gets like insecure or whatever about his relationship with his Papa Emperor, right? Those are very there's a lot of human to it, and that could be a great, like, I don't know what the right word to be for it, but the concept, the idea, it all depends on if they execute it well. The idea of, kind of, if they can convey, maybe through a human's eyes or whatever at the start, where like, the idea of the Space Marines is that they are like inhuman, and then the Horus Heresy, as the series goes through, is that the Horus Heresy shows us how the Astartes are still, even though they are very warped superhumans, they still have those very human emotions, kind of like dialed up, or at least when their stoicness or whatever breaks, their human emotions are like dialed up to an extreme. So yeah, I feel like Eisenhorn or Gaunt. See, I don't know the other stories, but based on what I've seen so far, I think Horus Heresy or Helsreach. But I think to prove what happens a lot with adaptations and series is that they need to do something that is a standalone first to prove that they can pull in money, because the fact that Games Workshops has a massive audience does not necessarily translate to those being ticket sales or viewers to a streaming service, as also honestly what probably bites them in the butt and maybe why we haven't seen a adaptation rush through is because they decided to make Warhammer Plus, and I bet you people I bet you Hollywood executives have looked at Warhammer Plus's streaming numbers, compared it to the overall of roughly of what money the rest of Warhammer pulls in, and they're like, your viewership, your fan base isn't translating to subscribers here. I bet you Warhammer Plus might actually be harming them in their attempts to do adaptations, depending on what the numbers are. If the numbers are actually really good for Warhammer Plus, which from what I've been hearing online, they aren't that good, then they aren't the best. Then Warhammer Plus could be hurting them in their attempts to get an adaptation, because that is something that executives can point to as an indicator of turnover. And of course, there are other issues we can talk about with Warhammer Plus. I think it could have been good, but I think the way they've handled it, I don't think it's been done all that well. But yeah, for series to get adapted, they need to do something that is like kind of a self-contained story. And I think Helsreach is a good example. Yeah, if Bethesda, I think if you want to, it's kind of the same in the book space. In the book space, if you self-publish, this could harm you. The only time being a self-published author is going to help you is if you sell enough. You sell a lot of copies. And honestly, if you sell a lot of copies of as a self-published author, you will also, like, I'm talking like the amount that you probably, from what the vibe that I've gotten from research and hearing online, the numbers you likely need to pull as a self-published author to help you get into the traditional indie space, you will be making enough money as a self-published author to not need the traditional publishing. You are only going to traditional publishing to make it easier for yourself so that you have less work on your hands. That's literally the only reason why, like, you would. If you are pulling the numbers as a self-pub to go to, right, to make it easier for you to transition to traditional. Other than that, they're not going to care. Or if you sell really bad, they'll be like, sounds like you don't have an audience, right? And that could harm you. Why I'm not self-publishing, because I feel like it could potentially be, it's one of the reasons. I feel like it would just damage, make it more difficult for me to break in, and also I don't have the money to self-publish my writing and get it to the edited quality that I want it to be at. And I also want if I were to self-publish, I also want them to be audiobooks. I want them to be available as widely as possible. I don't want them to just be paperback and ebook. I want a paperback, I want an ebook, I want a hardcover, and I want them to be available in audiobook. Doing all that is extremely expensive. I'm talking over $10,000 expensive on the low end for to get to get it edited to the standard that I would want, to pay for voice actor, cover art, you know, all that shit. Right? So like don't got that money. But anyways, oh man. This is live stream is 3 hours and 44 minutes. I don't know what exactly how much I'm going to cut this down to. Rest in peace to those that died in Helsreach. Yeah. Wag!